I expected that when Elon Musk took over Twitter, it would be a train wreck. It would be chaotic and it would be a massive failure. But even I thought that it would take a little while. He is literally speed running the destruction of one of the most popular social media companies on the planet. And even he seems to think that this could end in disaster at this point. He said in a staff meeting with Twitter employees that bankruptcy isn't out of the question. So to give you an idea of how great a CEO he is, he takes over and within 9 days, they're contemplating bankruptcy. So he gathered all of his employees into an impromptu all hands meeting, always a good sign. He gave them an hour's notice. So it was an emergency impromptu all hands meeting. He said that the economic picture ahead is dire and that they need to get to at least 50% money coming in via subscription. I don't know why that would be the measure. Why not just raise the ad revenue? If money is what it's about, why is it so important that you get the subscription? I don't know. But anyway, that's just the beginning of their issues. They've lost other key executives. So let's see, we had the chiefs of info security, privacy, compliance. Their head of legal had warned their employees to call out sick and use a whistleblower service to avoid breaking the law. Do you know why the head of their legal department needed to do that? Because Elon Musk told the employees that they were going to be responsible for complying with a bunch of the issues that they're already having with the FTC. That is definitely not on individual coders. That's why you have compliance departments in these major companies, to make sure that you're complying with the law. The idea that some engineer that you're having work 90-hour work weeks and sleep under his desk is also supposed to be going through all the federal regulations to make sure that they're complying with the law is insane. Would open them up to legal jeopardy. And so their own head of legal had to tell them don't do that. And they're again on apparently the brink of bankruptcy. And that's after just a couple of weeks. We've got other chaos, but Brett, what do you think?
Guys, what I see here is a lot of Twitter employees who are refusing to rise and grind. And I think it's a huge failure of people working really, really hard for a guy that treats them like garbage. And I've studied a lot of American history, and that's what built this town. Is work really, really hard for people who treat you like garbage. I know people who work for SpaceX, and this is not over stated. At the end of the day, SpaceX has spent years and years and years trying, failing to build rockets that land, right? They don't have years and years and years to do this. That's what's so fascinating. They have to pay more in interest on the loans that they took out to get this purchase done than the company makes every year.
Yeah, not a good call.
So what you gonna do? He's gonna, and all those loans are leveraged off of other companies he owns. So this is him doing that fancy project that's just a vanity thing in a area he knows absolutely nothing about, and he has to learn how to run a social media company. Yeah. And I hope to God he fails. I hate to say it, but I think it's so hilarious. And the thing that we take away from this is we're watching libertarians learn that you need a few rules, and he's pretending that he hasn't learned that in the last few days.
Well, I think he's trying to pretend to the advertisers that the rules will remain, but nothing about what he's actually doing is reassuring everyone. This isn't just about coming up with good ideas that he doesn't have the expertise or now the employees to accomplish. That would be bad enough. He's coming up with ideas that on their face are horrible ideas, and then he's bungling the horrible ideas. By the way, we're not gonna get into the verification thing too much, but I saw one tweet from a fake Eli Lilly account saying insulin is now free. And I can't say for sure that that's why yesterday Eli Lilly's stock dropped 30 points, but it probably isn't a coincidence because going back a week, they hadn't had those sorts of drops. You can't have this sort of situation. Advertisers are not gonna accept it. And I want to super fast point because we have another topic we have to get to.
Super fast point is it is wildly elitist the way he has behaved. And everyone thought he was a man of the people, but then he showed up and did something that anyone who's ever had a job hates, which is there's a new manager and that manager has no experience and no skill doing what they tell you they're an expert in, but you're the actual expert. And he's like, let's do this. And everybody's like, you just fired the person who did that and I don't want to do it for you.
Exactly.
And this is while they're all saying he's just a man of the people speaking like people talk.
They always think that about billionaires. Finally, I'll leave you with this, how he could actually kill it, unless he just reversed it. Twitter, he says, will eventually default to displaying tweets from Twitter Blue subscribers, while tweets from people who don't pay would be relegated to a separate page on the site and effectively buried unless viewers sought out that material. So we've heard a lot about shadow banning over the last few years. This is a fun way to do that and make you pay to be unshadow banned.
And this is right after he said, I'm tired of the two-tiered system that we had here at Twitter, where you had blue checks in charge of everything getting preferential treatment. It's like, no. You just created two classes in a way that they have even on airplanes to pay $8 to upgrade yourself to first class.
Exactly, yeah, he's made Twitter into Spirit. Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.